Welcome to Pat's Cast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
This is our episode for February 10th, 2019.
Green to it, left wing boards in the Lutford zone. Turns away from a hit from Addison. Finds Evans, right point, blocker, shot tipped, and they score! Blake Callan's got his first as a Pat! Sonneville gains the blue line, left circle, put it in front, great chance, and they score! Ty Cole's got a natural hat trick! Right circle, Evans, one-touch shot, he scores! Riker Evans is first in the Western Hockey League, is an OT winner here in Red Deer. Pats win 3-2 on the road.
Okay, I think the first thing we have to do is make a little public apology to the Pats for doubting them so much going into this road trip. I think we both maybe didn't want to say it, but if we didn't come out with a win, we would not have been terribly surprised. Boy, they showed us a different team on this road trip, and we gotta eat our words here a little bit, because they played arguably some of the, I would say, the best hockey especially since the trade.
All the trades, second half of the season.
Overall, the road trip, I would say, fantastic success.
500 road trip. That's what you expect on a normal team.
Really one bad period out of it. Bad period. We maybe outplayed in some periods, but
Real bad period.
yeah, overall that one cost us the game. But let's start at the top. Lethbridge, first game against Nick Henry and Jake Lasician since trading them. Same with Mahovlich. Can't forget about him. But if you had to ask me, the one game that I thought maybe would steal a point would be this one, just because of the goaltending issues. Overall, again, great game. Cale Sanders played his first game, so the lineups were even a little bit messed up. Just a fun game to watch too. Play back and forth.
I think they came out in the first period and they looked real good, and that's where we struggled the last few games, was the first period.
Yeah.
Like, you look at that Saskatoon game at home here, we played great in the second and third, but it was that poor first period. So I don't know, maybe because the time change, it is the second period time. So
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Well, it's 8:00. Maybe now they play good later, but through and through, well played game. Goaltending was great.
It was an exciting game. There's kind of some back and forth action, some river hockey going on there. So
yeah, we had times of nice sustained pressure with the first line, and then we have to talk about Ty Cole finally getting his goal.
may have not quote unquote counted on the score sheet, but it was a goal. It got some confidence going, and we're like, oh, hopefully that translates to the next game.
Got it going. And even Clayton I saw he had a wide open net, and he had it on his backhand. Unfortunately, he could have potted one. So these guys that weren't producing for us had those chances, to take them to overtime. And then
Their goal was lucky. It went off a skate in front, so it wasn't even a clean goal.
Right.
But they did have some pressure. Their overtime, they really pushed it in overtime. We kind of held on in overtime, and I think, well, maybe the shootout isn't our thing, because they've got some serious skill, right?
I didn't think it was. I didn't think overtime was our thing, nor the shootout. And just kind of hang on through overtime. Yeah, nice goals.
Cole, first guy out there, scores, and then Alkamov. It's nice to see him going.
Yeah,
he's got some serious skill.
But how about that confidence in the coaching? So
to put him out.
Cole's playing against his former team,
right?
Hasn't produced. And all of a sudden, it's like, get out there, go win, potentially win the game for us. We have, so that's awesome. I'm so happy to see them doing that, and good for him. That must have felt really freaking good for him. I don't know. Anything else you want to say about that?
Paddock was real good again.
Yeah.
This is the level we expect.
Yes. Kinda. Yeah. I know we were talking about him. It just wasn't that he was terrible. It just wasn't what we have come to expect from Max Paddock.
We've seen him play better, so we were kind of holding him to that level.
Yeah.
Of course, they're young guys. They can't sustain that kind of level sometimes. There's ups and downs. As you even see in the pros, there's ups and downs, especially in goalies. They have a night off here and there, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's just magnified by our lack of skill on our team. We need him to play to his full potential every night.
Yeah. He has to bail us out. There's no bailing him out.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and Lethbridge was showing their skill. He played so well so that's a fun game. After that, you think, wow, okay,
we got to win already.
They're looking great. Yeah. Like compared to what we've seen lately and the slow starts, this was awesome. So, and then
we only took one penalty that game too.
Yeah, that kind of reminds now going into the Calgary game, the penalties we took in that game. We only took 3 total penalties, and they were all in the second period, so none in the third period when the game was getting a little tough and fast. Like, we're starting to see these nice improvements. I think
they seemed like they played better away from home, even at the start of the season. Totally different players, totally different team. It seemed like they played a little better on the road.
They do a little bit, hey? So, yeah, into Calgary. So, Calgary was down a few guys, hey? Did you notice that? Zamula wasn't playing.
Yeah.
Their core guys. So were we, too. You know, we got Pierce out. Dubinsky was out then. Overall, still, another good game. A few sloppy things that led really to the loss, really. You know, we can talk about Ty Cole and his he got the goal the night before in the shootout, and then this game.
Well, he even had a couple good chances before he scored. He had a wide open net, and a D-man got a foot or a stick on it. He was wide open.
And he's had chances.
And then he had one batted out of the air. He batted it right out of the air, but hit the goalie right in the chest. And I was like, oh, man, he's so close. And then he busted out.
But he's been close for
a while.
Games. Yeah, good for him finally to see him throw that monkey. And I saw the celebration. He threw the monkey off his back. So awesome. Great for him. Nyhoff, too, was playing and had a really good game. Stru was out there, had some really nice shots. We were really, really testing their goaltender. Zonefeld had a great pass to Ty Cole he got an assist on one of his goals.
Yeah, he went end-to-end on that one.
Yeah, Zonefeld did, right? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and then Cole,
yeah,
kind of cleaned it up right at the end.
Yeah,
and for his third for the hat trick. So
yeah, again, a really good effort. But the sad thing was, as good as Cole played, he coughed it up so bad and gave them the goal. And then, granted, he got the hat trick and everything. That was great, but
Calgary really pushed the play in that third.
Yeah,
they had disallowed goal, and then they scored right after. It didn't even phase them.
Yeah,
they outplayed us in that third, not terribly, but you could see they really said, "Oh, why are we hanging around with these guys?
Yeah.
We should be beating these guys." And you could see they kind of had another step, another level there.
Yeah,
and ended up winning. But we didn't play a bad game. Pretty good 60-minute effort from the Pats there.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to say anything too negative about it because it was a really great effort against a good team.
4-3.
Yeah, against a good team. Cool game too out in the corral.
Yeah,
right?
The video feed was great.
Yeah, we were wondering if we'd even get a feed. I didn't know if they would have it set up. Who knows, right? Good game. Anything else you want to say about it?
No, that's about it.
No.
The Arby's jerseys, those are all right. Some people really like those ones.
I've liked all these ones.
Pretty nice, yeah.
These special jerseys they've had. They've been.
Yeah, and then PA bringing back the old.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call them, the Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of guy.
Somewhat controversial.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't be able to have that anymore.
Culturally insensitive.
Yeah, that's probably a good way. Yeah, I can see that. So yeah, they played
Friday.
Who'd they play when they had that one on?
They played Calgary.
And what were the
Wranglers.
The Wranglers, right? Yeah, okay.
That was kind of neat to see some 2 old jerseys.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'm a sucker for throwbacks.
Yeah.
I'm a huge sucker. Yeah, I really like to see those. Then it was off to Red Deer. And again, another strong game. Really good first. We actually outshot them 12-7 in the first. I thought we don't often do that this year. So to see that was really good.
Yeah, we had couple good looks on the first power play, and it had been struggling coming into this road trip lately. I can't remember the exact numbers, but it was under 15%. So we got a couple this game, so that was nice. But yeah, it was overall another good first period.
Third period, we were hanging on.
Yeah.
We were hanging on for dear life there, but that's what this team does. We've said it before. We hang on. We get those opportunistic goals.
What did we have? 2 shots in the whole period? The first one came with 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, it was late.
Real late.
Yeah, you got to score on us, though. And if you don't, we're going to hang around and get a couple of lucky ones here and there. And, that's what happened. And into power play overtime, and Riker Everin gets...
Yeah, nice power play goal.
Gets a goal. So first goal is a Pat, and that's awesome. He's part of the future with these guys. Great to see him get his first goal, and I'm sure he'll be in the discussion for the next few years. So
definitely,
yeah.
I liked his game even before the injury when he was still relatively
and to come back
young.
from an injury like he had,
and it doesn't look like he's missed a beat.
No,
he's looked good out there.
He's looked great.
Got to talk about that Nyhoff goal. Now you said on the broadcast, I had to watch the replay, so I didn't get the home broadcast. But it looked almost like a set play, kind of.
Well, they were talking about how he had practiced shooting right off the face-off, so I don't know if he meant to
put it wide.
Yeah, put it wide and get it. But yeah, really nice. Nice to see him get a few goals here too. He had one after the break. We thought, well, maybe he's going to start heating up.
Yeah, he had one like real early in the season that he didn't score for a while either.
And we were just talking. Watching him play, he's a pest out there too.
Yeah,
eh?
and you always see him smiling. So
he's got a big grin on his face all the time. Other players must just hate that.
Yeah,
just to see him.
Like
laugh.
he's not getting mad at guys. He's smiling and laughing at them, and that just.
He reminds me a little bit of. Remember when Bradley, the start of last year, he kind of played that role. He was a bit of a
agitator. But not a dirty player.
Not dirty and didn't take a lot of penalties.
But he would agitate other guys.
That's the difference between him and, say, Gabriel, right?
Yeah.
Who
took
was
all sorts of
penalties and then took him on top of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's finding kind of his game as that instigator and getting under people's skin and stuff.
Yeah, and he's been playing against top lines lately, so he's playing against their top players, so he's getting under their skin. And that's the guys you want to get under the skin of, right?
Absolutely.
You don't want to go chirp some fourth liner. You want to chirp these top line guys, right?
Yeah. So it's fun watching him. It's fun watching this team right now. Actually, really happy with that. I don't know if these Central teams took us lightly or what the deal was, but they were all playing for something here. It's a tight division, and none of them played really well against us.
Well, maybe
other than maybe Edmonton.
Fourth game here.
Yeah. So, rolling into Edmonton, a decent first. I would say maybe a draw. We got a goal in the first, but
we looked good 4-on-4. It looked like we had a power play.
Yeah.
We were looking good out there.
Edmonton wasn't playing great in the first, shooting themselves in the foot. When they had a power play, they would take their own pentalty.
Yeah,
within
they had
seconds.
2 power plays with 20 total seconds. I think
it was pretty good through the first, second.
Was another story.
Yeah, that's probably the worst period of this
whole trip,
of this road trip, and really defined that game. They scored 3 quick goals, never looked back after that.
Yeah,
really.
No,
we were saying, okay, and it was 3-1 going into the third. He said, okay, if we can get the next one, maybe we can, do our normal thing of, and then when they got that fourth, it was like, oh, darn.
Yeah.
I think
Cole even had another good chance. He stripped Gavlis there and had a little mini breakaway, but just couldn't put it home. And then,
it's too bad. They just came out in that second and took it to us. Trey Fix, Molansky again looks he's good. He distributes that puck so well. His passes, that one off the boards, was that the
fourth goal?
Fourth goal. Yeah. Just such a nice pass and just kind of turned set off around and spun him
Set
around.
had no chance.
Yeah.
The other guy had a lot more speed coming in through the middle and sniped it home.
Yeah.
If we didn't give up that fourth, like you were saying, we end up scoring the next goal to make it 4-2. But by then it was too late, and there wasn't enough urgency in the third. Like Edmonton still controlled the play a bit in the third, and we didn't have much sustained pressure. We couldn't really push much.
I mean, overall, though, we said we're really happy with this.
Yeah, and it was the effort too, right?
Yeah.
It's not like we squeaked out some ugly wins. We played good.
Yeah,
we went toe to toe with Red Deer and Lethbridge, and Red Deer, we kept Hagel kind of. We didn't keep him down. I think he had 1 goal, but I mean, he had some good chances. Paddock played great in that game too, and but you could see he stands out. That line of Red Deers is unreal.
Yeah, I mean, even in this Edmonton game, the shots were 45-36. I mean, we put up 36 shots. That's not bad.
We put up 17 in the first period.
Yeah, right. So if it wasn't for that second, who knows, right? If it just
I think maybe 6-minute lapse.
I think Edmonton was like, okay, we're not losing this
around.
game.
Yeah.
We need to.
We've seen these guys win 2 of their last 3. We got to step it up.
We got to figure something out, and they did. So I mean, Good. I'm super happy with it. Great efforts. Hopefully we can carry it into next week. Oddly enough, we have Edmonton right back here on Friday, and then into Moose Jaw on the 16th. So just 2 games this week. Teams we've seen recently and know fairly well, I think. We'll see what happens. I guess I don't want to make predictions anymore because, frankly, the team could either be really good or not so good.
Yeah. And Moose Jaw's been hot lately.
Right. That's what I mean. Like,
it's going to be tough to get a win, but
in theory, they'll be tough games, but they could win either or. So
yeah, if they put out a good effort like we've seen,
yeah,
they can pull off a win
or
two.
Totally. They're all starting to play for something, and other teams are going to start. Every game means more now. So, but we're not an easy win, right?
No, if we put out good effort, it's not an easy win for sure.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Pats roster here a little bit.
Yeah, some new news here.
Well, first of all, let's talk about Scholler. Great news for him. So he committed to Queen's University next year.
Yeah, good for him. Go use his scholarship.
Absolutely. So
play some more good hockey out there.
Yeah,
and,
play high-level hockey and get an education out of it. So, I mean, if you're not going pro, this is probably your next. It is the best part of this. Is you can get a scholarship and a good education out of it. So.
Yeah, and like I say, I go to a lot of Cougars games, and they're not the greatest team, but the hockey is good. Like, it's men out there. There's some big hits. Like, yeah, sure, you can't fight and stuff, but I mean, I guess Regina, Saskatchewan, they've had a couple of fights and brawls, but it's good hockey, and there's some good players coming out of the dub that are they just keep getting better, right?
Yeah.
Because they're turning into men instead of boys.
Exactly, yeah. So the other news is Ty Smolanek coming out of, where is he, Denver right now?
Yeah, he's out of Colorado.
So he was a draft pick.
17, I think.
Okay, so not last year, but the year before.
Yeah, same age as Dubinsky.
Right.
Third rounder.
Really quite highly coveted and expected to be one of our better guys in the system coming up, but had agreed and committed with
Denver.
Yeah. Okay. The University of Denver. And
he came to camp in 17, but he didn't come to camp last year.
Correct.
But the Pats are pretty high on him. You know, it sounded like in the article, Paddock said, "Oh, his parents were looking, possibly moving here if they were thinking of committing to the Pats," and then he ended up, after the fact, committing to Denver, and so he didn't show up last year to camp.
Right.
Which is fine. That's his choice, and because he sounds like he's a pretty high-end prospect. So,
but then it begs a question. So he didn't decommit from Denver. They decommitted. Is that the right word?
Dropped him.
So he's essentially now he could go back into the NCAA.
He could go anywhere. He can commit any time. Be like, okay, I'm going to go to Timbuktu, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. But it opens up the window now that he could come here.
It definitely does. And even not playing with the U.S. NDDP next year, because that's a 2-year thing. You play under 17s and then you play under 18s and then you go to school. That's how it usually works. So it sounds like rumors out there that he's not playing with the U.S. NDDP next year.
And we heard rumors that John Paddock was down in the States.
Maybe doing some recruitment.
Yeah. Maybe swung by there and
said, "Hey, what's
to their
up?"
camp and say, "Hey."
Yeah, this is still an option.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if he comes next year, he's still only 17 next year. Like, he slots in that young core that we've got going. So, and like he's the leading scorer on that under 17 team. He's got 17 goals, 12 assists, and they play a bunch of games in the USHL. So that's junior age players, so 17 to 20. So, and it's a team of 16-year-olds. That's it, just straight 16-year-olds.
And he's putting up points. So.
And he's the leading scorer.
So
on his team. So
could be exciting. We're not going to get too hyped on it, but we are going to do a little digging and try and find some highlights and get those posted on Twitter for you guys. So keep an eye on that. Injury report.
Everything was pretty good. Just McNabb is kind of just still day to day.
Pierce
was day to day. He was questionable in the lineup in the one game.
On the road trip. So he went, which is odd, right? And I don't think he played one game.
No, he didn't play one at all.
No.
He's questionable, I think, for that Lethbridge game, and then he wasn't. Then he wasn't on the lineup for the rest of the road trip. So
Right.
maybe they just said, "Oh, let's just give you the road trip." And,
Okay.
that's kind of odd that he almost made the first game, but then he didn't make any four.
Well,
any of the
that's
four.
what I'm thinking. Yeah, but who knows?
So,
Around the dub, some interesting games this week. Kind of some highlights. Portland Everett. I thought, oh, here comes a good one,
yeah.
and then Everett ends up shutting them out 5-0.
Yeah, Everett's been rolling there. They're right there.
Yeah.
Vancouver's hot on their heels as well. They're pretty hot.
So when we were watching this Edmonton game, they put some statistics up. We were just noticing there's 3 goaltenders with a less than 2 goals against average, and last year it was just
Hart.
just Carter Hart.
He was over a goal better than the next guy.
Right, like way better. And now we have
3.
so you have Wolf, Scott,
Minor
and
Scott.
Minor. Yeah, I don't know if that's to say there's better goaltending or worse scoring. It's hard to say, but regardless, there's some good teams out there. Again, PA better be careful. I know they've had some success on this little road trip they're doing right now, and they beat Lethbridge without Scott and
Leeson.
Lisa.
Yeah, so the Minor... No, he's the younger guy. So
Okay.
he's the draft eligible.
Oh, okay,
'Cause
right.
Tendek
Yeah.
is 5th in the league in goals against at 248, and he's the 19-year-old. Vancouver's got a pretty good tandem.
Yeah, and that's valuable coming into the
2
playoffs.
of the top 5 goalies in the league. That's impressive, right?
Yeah, totally.
They're getting scoring. The Byram's heating up like we mentioned before, so look out for them. They should be able to roll through the BC division.
Well, that's what I was just gonna say. Okay, but
Division's pretty competitive.
yeah. I mean, it's fixing to be a nice, good playoff
Yeah.
scenario. I think there's gonna be some good series.
Yeah, and Everett, like, they're always known for defense first and such like that. But they got a new coach now, and there may still be some of that lingering in the team. But I mean, now they're scoring as Edmonton showed the stats. Everett has 2 of the top 5 goal scorers.
Yeah,
And so you get that plus that excellent goaltending, and that's just a recipe for success, right?
and imagine if you had Matheos in there too.
Oof.
Yeesh.
That would have,
Oh man, they're gonna be kicking themselves for a while
well,
if they don't end up winning.
I don't think it's even their fault. It might be Brandon's fault or
Yeah,
whoever's fault it was.
they're gonna be
Yeah.
wondering, I'm sure. No, but encouraging week. Happy with it. Exciting thing this week is February 13th. Pats are delivering pizzas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
There we
so
go.
we're gonna try and take advantage of that. We'll see who we get. We'll try and take some photos with whoever shows up. We'll probably get like nobody. We'll probably just get a regular delivery driver. Oh, geez. Beat it, punk. Knowing our luck, but yeah, if we get something good, we'll take some pictures. It'll be fun. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's about it. I think that's I think
right.
I'm good.
Good. Well, let's wrap it up, and we'll see you guys at the rink.
Sounds good. See you guys.
Bye.
What a game and what a win!